check. Check it, check one, check two. All right, good evening, good to be here with y'all. Welcome back to another Oyama's Music live stream. Tonight, I am excited to be checking out a new plugin with you guys. It is called Origin. It is from Cymatics. I should be looking at the camera, still getting used to this thing. Most exciting thing about Cymatics Origin, besides that it's a really awesome lo-fi plugin, it's actually free. And a big question about lo-fi plugins that have been coming out, there's been a lot of them. I think one of the big reasons is because there's this plugin, maybe you've heard of it, called RC20. Really cool plugin, costs about $100, but you get some really beautiful lo-fi vintage sounds out of it. I think every lo-fi plugin on the block is trying to be RC20. How does Origin stack up against RC20? Well, I'm going to switch up the format a little bit. Last night's was a little bit long. I just really want to get going and get into it. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of the Origin plugin. So I'm going to flip over here. Let's see, you got my keyboard. Oops, let me see if I can rotate that. There we go. All right, you got a little view of my keyboard here. You got Ableton set. All right. So I'm gonna pull out, let's see here. What do I got here? I got a drum loop. I'm gonna drop it here. I've got a guitar loop, and I actually have Origin preloaded on my master right here. So this is what it looks like. Very nice. I'm gonna shut it off so you can hear the loops without Origin. So I'm just gonna fire it up like this. That's a little hot. There we go. There we go. All right, now I'm going to turn on Origin. Hey. So you got a lot of things going on here. You got about 5 different knobs up on this. You got saturation. I'll turn each thing up as I do it. You got movement with the wow flutter effect. Actually, if you look here at the bottom too, I don't know if you can see it. It actually will show you what you're changing when you push that, right? You've got this really huge dial for resampling, kind of like a filter. So this is cool because you could like automate that, right? Let me turn that down again. You got different kinds of noise. Yes, that's beautiful. And you can click here. You get like over 10 different kinds of noise. You got different vinyls, you got reel to reel, you got micro cassette. So this is really cool. You can put it pre or post resampler too with each of these, or with that one. Actually, each one's different. Oh, hold up. You've got tube and drive saturation over here. You've got what, random and fixed wow flutter. Hey, what up, Amelia? Sup, Singapore? And you got some slow and fast chorus. So you got all this going on. But here is the thing that I think really defines this app. Yo, Connor, what up? Yeah, it's free, right? It's crazy. You got, I counted, you got 42 different presets. Now you can play around with these a lot, but if you're kind of new to producing, like I'm like lower intermediate or something, or intermediate level, you got presets that just set you up with pre-chosen like really nice sounding sounds, and you can flip through them with the up and down here, right? A little bit of bit crush, a broken tape, so you got more wobble movement. Crunchy and old. Destruction. Okay, real quick though, real quick. Is it the RC20 killer? Honest answer, honest answer. Because I do own RC20. RC20, by the way, doesn't have to be $100. Goes on sale twice a year. One of those sales is coming up. It's usually on Black Friday, which is probably going to be in late November this year. Oh, Isotopes vinyl. I do have that. I like this better than vinyl, by the way. Real quick, let me open up vinyl because Amelia brought that up. Open vinyl. Vinyl is really cool. Vinyl does have a few things that I really like, but it's pretty straightforward. You just got like different eras of crackle. Honestly, I don't know if that's representative of those eras, but you got a spin down effect, which I really use a lot for special effects on tracks. I'll do that in another video. You got warp, scratch, dust, that kind of stuff. Vinyl's cool, but RC20, you got this. No problem, Amelia. So RC20 looks like this. Yes, first off, you got a ton of samples. So let me fire that up again. Let me turn off cymatics. I did. And let me turn down the volume 6 and 7 so I can just hear myself talk a little bit. So you've got a bunch of knobs on this. You don't have quite as many presets, I think. Vinyl 3 is one of my favorites. So let me just show you what it does. Yeah, Connor, absolutely. I use RC20 because I got it. You have a lot more granular control over 6 different things. It's not even using 2 of them right now. And you can things like have the noise follow the sound. So basically when there's no sound, there's no noise. Watch this. Oops. There's no noise barely right now. Now, oh, it's because I have vinyl on. Now there's nothing. Cymatics, on the other hand, if I open that up, you got this vinyl crackle constantly going. And the follow is a nice feature on RC20 because I kind of don't like that vinyl crackle going all the dang time. But anyway, you got a lot more granular control with RC20. However, that being said, let me stop this all one more time. I'm a big fan of simple plugins. Keep it simple, stupid, right? I love that Cymatics keeps it dead simple so that a guy like me who gets total decision overwhelm and I could get lost in the dials and the doohickeys, I like that there's not a lot going on because it's easy for me to just get moving. And that's one of my things. Especially because I do a lot of these 10-minute beat challenges because I have a baby, I don't got a lot of time, and I'm just trying to keep my skills sharp, trying to get to know my DAW and to work really efficiently and quickly. And I do that because I know for myself and for a lot of other producers, boredom and frustration are the enemy of finishing music that keep a lot of us from finishing ideas, right? RC20's got a lot of controls, granular control. And if you understand, if you take the time to study it, dude, so rewarding. Absolutely. And so Connor is totally right about that. And I do love me some RC20 still. However, I could see myself keeping this and not deleting it. And I am getting pickier about my plugins. I don't like opening up my plugin folder and seeing all this stuff, especially if I don't use it often. It's kind of depressing. But I like having a small bank of stuff that I really love. Like a video game, you got your rollout, and you can have it all. And you don't have to look at all the stuff and be confused. Like, well, I don't know what I want to do. Anywho, that is about enough talk about Origin. And let me try to cook up a little bit with Origin. Origin does look beautiful too, right? Love the look and feel of the thing. All right, so I'm going to delete these. I got an 808 queued up. I'll just leave that there. It's not a total cheat. I do try to keep my template all set up. By the way, that's one of my tips. Have a template set up if you want to do 10-minute beat challenges. I just explained why I do 10-minute beat challenges. I actually have 8 an 8-step checklist that I cooked up, and you can see it in the link in the description. If you're watching later, it's like down there. There's also going to be, if you're watching this after the stream, there's going to be a link straight up to the moment where I start the challenge. Anyway, though, there's a link. sendfox.com/oyamasmusic gets you the 8-step checklist to crush your 10-minute beat challenges so you can work faster, better, without frustration. Because here at Oyama's Music, what am I about? I am about helping beginning beat makers break through. And if you're on a budget, I got you back, because me too, right? Anywho, I'm going to fire up the timer. I am a little bit nervous, but I feel like the jitters are good jitters. You know what I mean? So far, 4-day streak. I'm on it. I haven't missed one yet. So, got some new samples to play with today. I'm kind of excited. Let's start this up. 3, 2, 1, 10 minutes on the clock. Let's go. So, closing my timer. Where do I want to start today? Let's start with my sample folder, which I already got all queued up. I think that's gray. Well, actually, no. I got the new samples. I didn't put them in yet. So I got this samplified. That's kind of nice. In going with the theme of not overthinking stuff, you know what? I'm just going to go with what I did yesterday. And I'm going to just use my favorites tab. I've got Serato Sampler, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm going to drop one of my brand new samples from Samplified, the piano stuff, into it. There's live piano and there's electric piano. By the way, if you've never heard of samplified.us, great place for cheap sample packs. I think they're like $1 per pack right now. Budget beatmaker tip. I've been producing since, I don't know, like about November last year. It hasn't been that long. Oh, did I already turn on Origin on everything? I actually don't want Origin on everything, so I'm going to turn that off on the master for now. 160 is a little bit fast for my taste. Let's tempo it down to 110. So what I'm doing is I'm queuing up different parts of it. I can adjust it with my mouse too. I'm going to be trying to use my Launchkey Mark III Mini a little bit more. Okay, that way. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, quickly. Tab over. Don't got a lot of time because it is a sample challenge. I set this part up to loop. And I'm gonna, my track is armed. I'm just gonna push record and turn my metronome on. Oh, okay. It was at like 200 up there. All right, we're back at the start. You can see the thing advancing. 5, 6, 7. That's still a little fast for my taste. Let's tempo down to 95. Oh, same little mistake I made yesterday. Delete automation. What that would have done, by the way, is it would have like started and then it would have tempoed down and up at the beginning end of the loop. Would have been mad weird. Okay, we're recording. There we go. That's a good start. I'm gonna open that up and just make sure we're kind of squared up. See, I always miss the first one. Control out, drag over a little, make the hand thing appear. I'm gonna knock that there. It's not a bad start to things. Control T opens an audio track. Let's find a drum loop. Wait, that's still not playing. Yeah, it was a little bit late or early. I don't know if you could hear that, but yeah. Wasting a little bit of time, but I do want to show you. I missed that. There we go. There we go. Control U squares everything up. Let's find a drum loop now. I got some cymatics loops. Memories, that's a good one. Let's find another good drum break like yesterday. Something. Let's actually go with loops. Oh, Brooklyn. I think I remember this one. I've used this before. Hey, there we go. Okay, 5 minutes left. Oh, I'm going a little bit slower today. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little different tonight. So I'm gonna cut out a little chunk right there, so it's gonna sound like this. And then I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna duplicate it. So Control E separates it, Control D. So there we go. Okay, then that's gonna be fun if I Control E and duplicate, 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 because it's gonna... Okay, let me open up Splice, because I like having this come in. That's not Splice. Okay, do I got a woo? I thought I had a woo. I need a woo! Oh, there we go. There's one. There's one. Copy it. Alright, I need another audio track. Let's go. Let's go. Let's drop that there. Wait, what? Oh no. That was not what I wanted. Huh, that could work. Let's just turn it down. Turn it on the dial. Just tab over. Let's put a lot of something on it. Delay. A little reverb. Okay, not bad. Keep moving. Less than 5 minutes to go. Let's see if I find something better. Decap. Oh, I'm looking for this one. Shout. Yeah, let's do that. Paste it. Okay, turn down the delay. That's good. Tab over. Drop another one. Let's reverse it with R. Flip it over here. And cut off the end of it. And paste the same thing again. That's a nice effect. Okay. Let's get something else. Let's get something else. Did I leave that 808 up here? I did. Let's see if I can figure that out. Oh, I cannot hear it. It's so quiet. That's the struggle is real. Shift tab. Let's turn up the gain on my utility. This is kind of a thing that I always leave on my stuff, utility. That's not working for me. Let's take an alternate route. Let's go for, oh, what's my keyboard called? Addictive keys. Let's go to addictive keys and not even think about it. Oh, so loud. Oh yeah, tonight is an Origin night, so let's fire that. Let's put one on this too. Oh, I got an idea. Okay. So that's great for the intro. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to turn on automation. I've got Origin. I'm going to have device on, and then it's going to turn off. So we'll basically... Okay, let's record that real quick. 5, 6, 7, 8. A little above 10 minutes. A little bit above 10 minutes, but... Now, let me just say real quick, I don't want this stream to go on forever like the last one did, but let me drop Origin on this. Yes, the timer is anxiety inducing, but I do enjoy the competitive nature of it because it forces me to not think. And I think it's a good kind of calm to learn. Calm of, especially if you ever start, I don't know if you perform live ever, Amelia, live performances of any kind. I've never done this live. I do church worship with the guitar and singing and sometimes drumming and other stuff live. It's always kind of exciting because you never know what's going to happen in some ways, especially if you're a little bit off, or if someone decides, oh, we're going to bring the band back for one more chorus, one more verse, another bridge. We're really enjoying this time. Like, it's just a really good thing to get used to. And when you're cool under pressure, when I'm cool under pressure at least, it really helps me produce. And what's cool is I've just got a pretty decent 30-second thing out. Let me give you some quick takeaways. Yes, 1, this is not RC20. It's like RC20, but I think 2, because of its simplicity and the way the interface looks, Connor was saying it's just a very well designed thing. Dude, Cymatics, they've got this formula. So what they do is they make a free version. Sometime later, they're going to release, I'm like 99.9% sure there's going to be a paid version of this that's going to have more features. Oh, you play drums for church too? Word! Praise the Lord. That's cool, Connor. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a paid version, but this is already pretty sweet. You got a lot of features, a lot of details, but the way it's organized is just so smart. I love it. And then on top of that, what else could I say about this? There's 2 ways that I like to use things like RC20. One is the automated way. So let me open up my automations. Here it's on, then it's off. That's great for intros. That's a variation on my favorite intro trick, which Amelia knows that I overuse like all the time. So it's kind of quiet, kind of filtered, kind of far back, and then... And if only I could have got the 808 to work. I never have good luck with this Saucy 808 plugin, by the way. So the other thing that I'm doing is I'm making these things, especially the piano, Because let me play you again the piano without the plugin. I mean, it just sounds like your average plain vanilla electric imitation of a grand piano, right? Like, I mean, nothing against Addictive Keys. Fantastic instrument. Well worth it if you can get your hands on it. But this is not that cool. It doesn't fit the genre. It's just a piano. More suited to, like, I don't know, like classical or something. Let me just quickly quantize it so that lines everything up a little more accurately. Control A, Control U. Maybe I'd also try to make the volumes all level. What is that? Alt drag. I actually see that here in the help window. I'm gonna select everything. You can see at the very bottom, all the volumes just went up and down. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna duplicate, or I wanna copy all these. Oh, actually, what am I doing? Control drag them. Whoops. So I got an octave now real quick. It was a little clumsy, but real quick, Connor just asked, for these 10-minute beats, do I plan to go back and do them? What I like to do, especially because I'm short on time these days, is I have like this process. It's like 4 steps. First step is the 10-minute cook up. And so I'll cook up for 10 minutes. Second step is I take the best of the cook ups and I try to make them into tracks. And so one of these days, maybe I won't do a 10-minute challenge. Maybe I'll just try to expand it. So this would be like a good intro plus the beginning of an A section, and see if I can flip it into a B section that makes sense, and see if I can build on the A, see if there's enough ideas there that I could do it. I like the 10-minute challenges because usually if I finish well, I'm excited about continuing, and that's one of those things, like I said, if you can keep excited, that's like half the battle. Boredom and frustration is usually what keeps me from finishing. But yeah, then from there, I take my best ones and I'll put them on SoundCloud. I send them to like Tetro's Track Review or other servers, Decap, You Suck at Producing. I'll put them into Track Reviews, Brownies and Lemonade. And then from there, the best of those, I haven't really been executed on this yet. I'll polish them a little bit more, and I've got a DistroKid account. I'm thinking like one of these days I'm going to put my stuff on DistroKid and get it on Spotify and Amazon Music, and that'll be fun. But yeah, I do plan to go back though. I've got like this master plan. But I do enjoy this. If you want to check out the first EP I've made so far, it's an underground thing, not on Spotify. Well, underground because it's not on Spotify. Everything's underground these days, indie. But yeah. It's I think there's a link in my Linktree thing in the description. But anywho, yeah, what was I saying? Neat things you can do with RC20 or the Origin plugin. One, you can make like intro stuff or effects just for certain parts of the song. The other thing is that you make stuff sound vintage. You make it sound like it came off of an old-timey record, right? So when I turn Cymatics on again, I could even duplicate this. The one thing I wish Cymatics Origin had that I know RC20 has is RC20 has a wet dry knob. So what I mean by that is you can mix how much of the original sound and how much of the RC20'd vintagified sound you get. So you can mix the two together. Cymatics does not seem to have a wet dry knob. I'm like half sure it would be like 50-50 for me. I think that would probably be a feature for the paid version, but you can get around that. What you do is you duplicate the track. And then one of them has Origin and the other one doesn't. And then you can use gain, the volume sliders, whatever, to turn one up, to turn the other one down, right? That decides how much of the cymatics I get and how much of the OG I get. Yeah. That's my workaround. It's not perfect, but it does kind of help with stuff. By the way, if you find a preset that you're really feeling, you can save it. So, Origin, there it is. It's pretty cool. Let me just delete this. Yeah, and then I'll just leave this on it. What was one that I liked? Record player? There it is. That's tonight's stream, guys. Thanks for coming out and chilling with me. Good to have you, Connor. If you guys found some value on this, please like. If you want more of this, subscribe. I'm planning to put out a lot more of these. I've got a lot of plugins that I'm thinking of going through. Drip is on my list. I'm gonna do a proper RC20 one probably. It's too good to ignore. Memory mode is a new thing that I'm pretty excited about. Vinyl. I kind of want to show, I showed a friend on Tetro server how I kind of put a lot of different things together to emulate RC20 without buying RC20 because I didn't always have RC20 until I saw it on sale. So I've got a lot of fun ideas of where I want to go with these. And I didn't quite make as much progress with this one as I made on a previous one, but yes, so good to have you guys. Thank you for tuning in today, Amelia. So yeah, drop a comment in the comment section. What do you think I should do next? RC20's got to vote for Amelia, so I think I might have to do that. And yes, so excited. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you very much. This is Oyama's Music. Remember to check out that free PDF if you haven't got it yet. And it's been fun. You guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. And I'll run the track to end tonight.